Oh, it's hot today. What if you can make your own watermark out of your own signature? Let's try that. Okay, so I've been messing around with signatures for a long time, and I've over the years gone through, I don't know, 3 or 4 different adorations of the Andy Hornby photography thing. And I just wanted to change up, and I'm seeing all these websites that are creating your logos for you, where they charge you a ton. But what if you could do it yourself out of your own handwriting? Now, I haven't got the best handwriting, but I know I can do something. So I decided to give it a go, and this is my new watermark logo type thing. And it's really easy, and there's a few ways you can use this. So some people who are Photoshop only and don't really use the Lightroom export functions, which is fine, you can turn this into a very simple brush and brush it straight onto your pictures to then export from Photoshop. And I'll show you how to do that. It's really, really easy. Making a brush in Photoshop is a piece of cake. But the other thing you can do with this really easily actually is in Lightroom create an export preset. Now I've got videos about this for like the whole preset type thing and what you want to do when you export your images for various different media, whether it's going to be for print or whether it's going to be for client approval, all that kind of stuff. But in this video I'm going to show you how to implement a watermark on export in Lightroom as well. So we'll do the whole Photoshop thing, create a brush, bosh, you've got a watermark, and then I'm going to show you how to do a really simple export preset with a watermark in Lightroom. It's really simple, so let's do this and I'll show you what I did. I'll show you my entire phone. So you can see that you're now in my notes. I did this on my notes so you can see the different adorations I went through. I have one of these little things on my phone. Let me get it out. I've got one of these, which is a scribble scribey thing, and you'll see that once I get this out, I can then hit on my notes, hit that, and then I can make, oh no, wiggly lines with that. Which is pretty good. So I went through a few different adorations. This could be a piece of paper, ladies and gents. It doesn't have to be on your phone, because all I did is took a screenshot, which is pretty much the same as taking a photo from your phone of a piece of paper. Just make sure it's a bit of white paper so there's nothing else. I was looking at different I might as well show you using this. So I was looking at different like things where I could add to the logo, and you'll see I did that with this one here, and the final one I did in Photoshop I added later, and you can see the different adorations go through. I'm just with this one, I'm just checking how to go from the A to the D, because do I incorporate the D? Do I use small letters for the, you know, for the rest of it, or do I use all uppercase? I ended up going with all uppercase, and my final design was that, and that's the one I used. I think, did I? No, hang on, no. There's more. Look, I had loads of different adorations. So get yourself a piece of paper and start scribbling your signature in some way that looks aesthetically pleasing to you with a pen. Make sure it's a black pen, as dark as you can make it, on a white piece of paper, and take a picture of it on your phone and then email it to yourself so you've got it to download and save onto your PC, Mac, whatever you use for Photoshop. And then we'll go into Photoshop now. Okay, so you can see we're in Photoshop now, and this is my imported image that I had, and my exported image is that. You can see I've done a little bit of work, which you don't have to do. I've just made a few lines thinner, took a bit of time just to use this N here, make it a little bit bigger, that kind of stuff, because I want a little bit of continuity between the two words. And you don't have to do any of that. But what I did do after that is then add the photography, and that then became my logo with a few embellishments like drop shadow, that kind of stuff. But let's just take this really simple. Let's go to this, which is one of the logos I did actually do on my phone and imported this Didn't use this one, but let's use this as the example. Let's pretend that you've taken a picture of your piece of paper that you've scribbled your signature on, and then you've emailed it to yourself, you've got it on your computer, you saved it to computer, you've opened it in Photoshop, and this is what you've got. You've cropped it down to this square, and perfect. But you have a white background. We need to make this transparent. Now hopefully you used a black pen, but I'm going to show you a way of making it black. Either way, so you're going to want this to be black, especially when we use the watermark feature or the brush feature in Photoshop. So let's do this. So first of all, let's make a copy of the layer. Just turn the bottom layer off, just so we've got something to work with. And we need to make sure the top layer is now selected, and go to select and color range. Now if like me you've got it all sorted in here already, you will go down to, you'll probably be on sample colors, which nothing will show in there. Drop down to shadows, and this will do a very good job of finding your handwriting. Obviously what's white will be revealed because we're going to make a selection here, and you can mess around with the fuzziness and range, which is going to change how much is being shown through. Obviously the less range, the less pixels are being selected, the more range, the more pixels are being selected, and you can just have a mess around there, see what works best for you. If you go too much, you're going to get a very pixelated image. So something around where we were, something like that, for me is going to work best. If your handwriting isn't completely black, you may have to mess around with this a little bit more just to get the best selection, or you can use these sample colors and then sample the colors from there. If it's a different color, maybe it's a blue or something. So from there, I now have a selection. Now this is great, but what we actually want to do is invert this selection. So I want you to hit Command Shift or Control Shift I, which then inverts, or you can go to select up here, and I'm sure inverse is just there, look, and that shows you what your shortcuts are just there, and that will select the background. All we're going to do here is hit backspace or delete if you're on a PC, and you now have a completely empty background, and that pretty much is it. So without this background on, if I add a colored background to here, let's just for now add a solid color background, you can see that with a little bit of fringing, unfortunately, that we can take care of, we can change the color of the background, and we've got a fairly good selected image. Awesome. Let's go different colors. So this will work on any background. Obviously we need to take care of the white areas. So let's now go back to the top layer. Let's select this. Now we can do an easy selection here. Control or Command and hover over the square. That will select all the pixels. And in the color here, we want black as our foreground color. Let's just get rid of that for the time being. Actually, let's just put that to black, because that will show us where we're going to go from here. And from here, just use a brush. Make sure that flow and opacity is set to 100. On the top layer, people, on the top layer, I was wondering why it wasn't working. And deselect, Command D, and turn this off. And then we have a very black, very nice signature. Look at that, awesome. Okay, so from here we can then go to File, no, Edit, Define Brush Preset. There we go, it's been a while. So let's do Signature 1, in case I've got one already. And we now have a brush preset. Look at that. So we can open up, let's open up an image. This is nice. Okay, so let's open this up. Now we have a brush preset. All we've got to do is make the brush smaller. So we go to brush, make it a bit smaller, make it a bit bigger again, or we can use the, and boop, now have white, or we can go have a black, boop, and we have a black preset. So depending on your image, you can have a dark image or a light image and choose which one you want to use. In the sky there, we'll go black, or we can go white. So to save this out, you use File, Save a Copy, and you're going to want to use a PNG for a very specific reason. Save that to any location you want to save, and we'll see you in Lightroom. Now in Lightroom, what we want to do is add an export preset. So if we take an image, or lots of images if you like, it might not just be one, and go right click, export, go to the top there. This is our user preset defining attributes that we want to add or include in our export. Now, depending on what you want to do, you might want to make one or two different ones. You'll see down the side here in my user presets, I have 6 different user presets there that I use all the time for various different things. HCC is Hampshire Cosplay for Charity. That will add a Hampshire Cosplay logo. High res TL files, so this is time-lapse files. High res normal, so this is normal. That won't add anything like watermarks, but it will keep everything at 100%, file size, all that kind of stuff. I've got a low res boudoir preset, which adds a boudoir watermark. See boudoir 19 down there. I've not changed my logo since 2019. And a low res 2025, which I've just included with the new logo, which is what I'll use for low res files that I'll use on social media, and obviously wedding high res files there. So if we go to here, you can see my user presets. If you want to copy these down and work with something similar to this, that's completely up to you. This might not make sense to you. I've got another video about how and why I use this. So you may want to use choose folder later. In this case, so let's just choose that for now. Choose folder later, and we come down to custom sequence. I add a custom name to it and start number. So the export example will be low watermark 1. That defines it as a low res watermarked image, and number 1 in that whatever folder I'm in. It'll export as a JPEG at 80%. Color space is sRGB. Blah blah blah. I've never changed that. You could use Pro Photo if you really wanted to. And height and size, I restrict this to 2500 pixels on the longest edge, and I have it set to not enlarge if it's smaller and the resolution is 72. And then the watermark, so you come down to the watermark here to add a new watermark. So here you will find, by hitting choose there, you'll find the logo that you just saved. It'll be a PNG, not a JPEG. You want to make sure it's a transparent background. You can choose the quality. I choose 80%, so there's a little bit of opacity to it. You can go right down if you like. You see the image in my left hand corner there getting smaller. You can choose the size, the fit, the fill, and where you want it. So I generally choose the left hand corner, and how far out from that corner is defined by this here. Click save, and then obviously add a new user preset. I won't need to do that because I've already done it. And now you want to add all of this information as a new preset. So all you have to do is click on the side. Let's do a new one. So all you have to do is then tick that box, and then it'll be batch export, but don't worry too much about that. You'll add a name, choose a folder where you want to save it, and all the images that you've just selected that you want to have this watermark on will be saved in that location with that user preset name. And that's it. How cool is that? You will then have pictures with, let's just quickly do this and I'll show you. So let's just put it on the desktop for now, and let's call this Italy because we were in Italy. Export Bosch, and there is the image. How cool was that? Really easy. Keep it really simple. Remember, the steps are really simple. Just write down your signature, whatever you want to create a watermark with. Take a picture of it, save it to your computer, import it into Photoshop, get rid of the background, really easy. Make sure that the type or the picture is jet black if you can. Create a brush preset out of that image, and you can now use that in Photoshop, and then save that as a PNG to your computer. Go into Lightroom, create a export preset, and boom, it is that simple. Honestly, keep it really simple and you've got it made. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, whack a thumbs up. Any comments, leave them down below. If you like this content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to get updates every time I upload a new video. That'd be awesome, and I'll see you in another one soon. Take care, bye.